You're listening to Joy Coaching America with the Joy Coach, Karyn Lynn Grant, spreading upbeat, uplifting, informative messages of hope and happiness from sea to shining sea, from our home in the beautiful Rocky Mountains.
Welcome to Joy Coaching America. This is Karyn Lynn Grant. Today we are going to be doing a special follow-up show from last Saturday's show with David Peterson, the founder of Nature's Fusions. I hope you all had a chance to listen to that show, and if you didn't, you can go and look it up on my podcast Podbean account. That is KarynLynnGrant.podcast.com. Go and look for the show called The Gift of Authenticity featuring David Peterson. It was a beautiful show. Today we get to be with the beautiful Tatia Nelson, and I'm so excited to be with Tatia. The minute I met her, I just felt like this is a dear old friend I haven't met yet, and I'm so excited, Tatia, to have you here today, and so excited to share your gifts, your love of learning, your desire to continue to be educated and to educate others with the knowledge and the skills and the areas of expertise that you have. Say hello, Tatia.
Hello, my feelings are mutual. I knew that I knew you the first time I saw you. So this is fantastic that we get to do this. And I am so excited to share so many things. I mean, the stories that come up today they'll be fantastic.
They will be. And it's fun because we both found that we have a common friend, Kathy Smith, who is the owner of Loving Liberty Radio Network, where this will be first airing this Saturday on Loving Liberty Radio Network at noon. So here we go. Tatia was a pre-med student at BYU and got her psychology degree there and went on to become a master herbologist and a nutritionist with a degree at Dr. Christopher's School of Natural Healing. She is an iridologist, and in her continuing education professional, ongoing, educated woman, she is now studying aromatherapy and homeopathy. She'll tell us with which school that is with. And also what I love, see, there's so many beautiful loves in common here, but I also love, Tatia, that you teach constitutional curriculum at Kimber Academy. And recently I was able to interview on our radio show, Glenn Kimber. And
that's so exciting.
Yes, it was wonderful. It was a wonderful show. And that was fun because Brother Cleon Skousen was my next door neighbor when I was pregnant with my little boy, Stephen. And I shared a great story about Brother Skousen on that show. But today we are focusing on Tatia. And I love talking to people, Tatia, women who love leadership, learning, and nurturing. She's also a mother of 3. And so as we get into these questions that I have for you today, I just want you to go to the heart of the matter and share deeply from your soul, because this will be kind of a catalyst for others to go back to school or go take those classes that they want to take, that they've been wanting to take, maybe putting off. I just hope that the intention of this show can be that everybody who's listening will go into pondering, what is it that you want to do? What is your passion for life? And what is it that you came to this planet Earth to share and to expound on for others? So Tatia, how did you get into the wellness industry? I'd love to hear that story.
So I was actually born in this industry. I have a mother who's a dietitian. She is fantastic. And my mother managed a kitchen, and I remember being able to go there and see how she was helping people nutritionally. My father is an herbalist. So first he's in construction, right? And he finds this 5-acre piece of land just north of Seattle, Washington, which is where I got to grow up. And he builds this house for us. And he creates this 1/2-acre garden where he produces half of our yearly intake of food for a family of 8,
Wow.
and we're all teenagers who eat a ton. And it was a lot of food that he produced. And we had fruit trees, and we had a little bit of livestock. We had the trees that we would fell the trees and cut the wood, and put it in our wood burning stove. We're totally on the self-reliant, super healthy, organic
You
lifestyle.
grew up as a country girl.
I totally did.
That was
It was
my
amazing.
dream.
And I didn't know what kind of wealth I had because we were cash poor. We just, we lived on very, very little, and we produced a ton of our own. And I loved the lifestyle. We had herbs in our backyard. I still remember when our goats were out there eating the comfrey, and my job was to go shoo them away because we wanted the comfrey. And it's not, and they didn't need to eat too much of it. So that and all of the other herbs, I knew all the plants, all the flowers, all the names when I was growing up. And a little family history. I have a great-great-grandmother who is a famous American herbalist.
What was her name?
Josephine Chatterley Wood. And she was in the Bluff area and took care of everybody there as the midwife and doctor. And she took care of the Native Americans and learned from them. And it was fantastic. So when I looked into that history, you're telling me go deep. I'm going to go deep right away. When I was in a beautiful 5-acre area and learning the flowers, I'd be out there and I'd be singing while I'm, weeding the flower beds. And I felt like somebody was there with me. And it wasn't until years later, and I got into my genealogy, my family history, that I started to realize who that was. And it was my great-great-grandmother, and she was teaching me the herbs. It was such a beautiful experience.
That is so priceless and incredible, and brings tears to both of our eyes. I can only imagine how wonderful that was as a child, as a youth, and now today with the beautiful industry that you are in. I love hearing about your grandmother. I think that is it's so inspiring to think that these generational passions can be taught and trained, but they're also written in our DNA, that you are just this beautiful, beautiful light and country heart and spirit coming to us with so much knowledge. And I'm so grateful for that, and for your gifts, for your areas of expertise, and how you've already blessed me before this show. So happy. So, Tasha, if there was, I truly believe that every single one of us has a catalyst experience in our life where we determine that we're going to go make somebody else's life more comfortable. That can come from all that beautiful experience you had growing up, or it can come from some adversity that you went through. And if you had to pinpoint a time of adversity in your life, what would that have been? And what did you come out of wanting to make other people's journeys more comfortable?
Karyn, I have a story.
I love stories.
So actually, while I was, just before I started going to the School of Natural Healing, I became very, very ill. And what had happened is I had a cascade of health problems that began just prior to serving as a missionary overseas. I went to a beautiful island called Reunion Island next to Madagascar for 17 months, and was able to share my sentiments, my love for God and the gospel during that time. But just prior to leaving, I became very, very ill, and was able to repair quickly enough, and was blessed with the strength and the health to then be able to go, which I'm grateful I was able to go. And then I had some issues while I was there. But I'm telling you, as soon as you have your first pregnancy and your whole body has put all this energy into creating a child of God who comes into this life, you start to feel as a mother the toll that it takes on your body. And what was already going on just went deep into a disease situation. I mean, I actually did a radio show or a quick little video show about this, and we talked about how I was unconscious. I was so sick and so fatigued. I was unconscious for a large portion of the day, yet I was trying to take care of my sweet first daughter. And sweet little Kaya, at 2.5 years old, was able to do many things at 2.5 years old to help out mommy. And many neighbors and family members helped me during that time, but I didn't quite understand what was going on. And it wasn't until, and these things take a while to diagnose, it wasn't until later that I found out that we were dealing with an autoimmune disease, a very destructive one that can put me into episodes where I've got to figure out which organ it's attacking at that time and then repair that organ. And I've been very blessed and grateful to do it naturally and have found a solution each time.
That is amazing. And here you are, your love of health and wellness, your gifts, talents, and everything that you went through preceding that as a child, learning the herbs, learning the flowers, now going into aromatherapy, homeopathy, all of these loves combined together with a sweet and tender passion to help other people to heal what ails them, to mend the parts of their bodies that are broken. We'll be right back after this message. Thank you so much for joining us on Joy Coaching America, interviewing the beautiful Tatia Nelson.
From sea to shining sea and beyond, you're listening to Joy Coaching America Worldwide with show host and Joy Coach, Karyn Lynn Grant.
Welcome back to Joy Coaching America. This is Karyn Lynn Grant interviewing Tatia Nelson. We're here at Nature's Fusions. We're doing a series of radio shows and podcasts because it's so exciting to highlight Nature's Fusions and also to be able to speak with Tatia. I loved that you shared that you grew up with this wonderful man, your father, who bought this half-acre, turned it into a garden. And
5 acre. Oh, yeah. Half-acre garden.
Oh, half-acre garden on 5 acres. And the love of your life being your grandmother, who was there to watch over you, nurture you, and help to educate you and to instill her passion and her joy and her love for what she was able to accomplish in her lifetime. So my next question for you is, how did you meet the Petersons, this wonderful family, David and Mike and all of the family that has created Nature's Fusions? And what is your role here?
Okay. So first of all, at the time that I met the Petersons, I was working for a health food store called Good Earth Natural Foods, who became the very first health food store who started carrying their line of Nature's Fusions essential oils. I'm the one who lined that up. And
awesome.
Here's why. And that's not why I'm working here. I'll explain the whole story. That just all happened serendipitously many years later. So this is about a decade ago. And I was at a women's show, like one of the expos. And upstairs, I was demonstrating whatever products that we had at Good Earth, the all natural stuff. And I had this feeling, go downstairs to the main area and just look for new products. Well, we had been looking for an essential oils line that was not multi-level marketing, but was just as high quality as those companies who were spreading the joy of essential oils in that way, right? And obviously we needed it to be a retail line. And I had wondered, is there one out there? And I go downstairs and there's CJ Peterson, and there's David Peterson, And I can't remember which sisters were there. And so during the expo, you see all of the Petersons at different times, and you see each one of their faces. And if any of you get to meet the Petersons, it's an experience like meeting, let's see, the Avengers, a dream team, the Justice League, and you just expect them all to be in these superhero costumes because they are so amazing. They're so innovative. And I'd like to go into that for just a second. If you can meet their mother, she is magnificent. And,
tell us her name.
Her name is Lori Peterson. And she is a superhero in my life. She absolutely is.
Beautiful.
So the way that she has brought these children up is she teaches them to be innovative. I mean, you want to talk about Americans and those who produce liberty. They came and they developed this company, and all of them could have very well have said, I don't know how to do this. And they put their hands in the air, but they go, but we're the Petersons. We're going to figure it out, right? And the way that she teaches her children and her grandchildren has really taught me how to mother better, because I see, and she does this for me too. And I'm growing and developing here, working in the lab with David in the same way that she nurtures and brings them along in their learning journey. And what I'm getting at is she allows them to experience the ups and the downs, the falling flat on your face if you fail, the encouragement when you succeed, and she expects the best out of you. And that's what it's like working here at Nature's Fusion. So going back 10 years, I'm looking at the Petersons, not even realizing I'm looking at this superhero team, right? And all of a sudden, I start investigating the oils. And I said, tell me about your oils. I want to see. And I'm the one who was scoping it out and trying to find the supplier. And David steps up. Like, everybody pushed David to the front. David, you need to talk to her about the specs on these oils. And he shows me, now this is what I'm sharing with Carolyn right now, is what you can find online. And when you go to naturesfusions.com and you click on one of our oils, we're looking right now at the lavender specs that we have.
Wow, this is all lavender?
These are several pages, and it's just all of the lab reports on the monoterpenes, the sesquiterpenes, the whole panel of everything. And you have every single one of them listed. And these are single constituents. Wow. They're the monoterpenes. They're all the different kinds of components that you find. So if you look at this, we have monoterpenes, sesquiterpenes, esters, aldehydes, phenols. If there are any of those,
wow,
the ketones.
Your French lavender is just about almost equal in sesquiterpenes and in monoterpenes. That's wonderful.
It's super high quality. I mean, we seek out the best. And so when I saw these, I recognized that this is a high quality product.
With a very open company that is willing to share with the click of a finger, so you know exactly what's in your lavender.
Yeah, you can go to naturesfusions.com and just click on any of them and get the same spec sheets.
So I have a question. So last week, David and I were talking about how each output is different because there might have been different rain, there might have been different soil. So do you do this for every time you get a new batch?
So the specs that are up there are for the general. I mean, we can't put every single one up there, but we'll put the most recent ones up there. And
well, it's wonderful. And so I encourage
you get the up to date, information.
All of you essential oil loving people, go and do exactly what Tasha suggested. This is beautiful French lavender with 4 pages of detailed results on the specs on that oil.
And that's just a portion of it. I mean, there's so much information, and then the certification. So we are totally transparent with everything.
So I have a question. There are people that feel that if it's not an MLM, that maybe it's not as high quality. I mean, that's what we've been educated if we belong to another MLM and been told that this is the best and the fairest of them all. kind of oils. So what do you tell people?
So I worked with the executives at the health food store, Good Earth Natural Foods. And when I was asked to find a new line of something, I've already tried over 100,000 plus products that are out there. And I became very acquainted with what was high quality, what was not. I did the smell test. I looked at the specs. I looked at the quality and the viscosity between my fingers of each one of them. And then we found out further information later in meetings that we had before we actually brought it into the store. This is the highest quality line I have ever seen. It just is.
Well, it says a lot that you would move from Good Earth where you loved that
I
position.
loved it. Yeah.
And now here you are. And tell us what you do here.
Okay, well, let me tell you how I found.
Okay, tell us that first.
I actually have a product. So I'm a formulator already. I was before I came here, and I came to work in the formulation department at Nature's Fusions. And the reason why is I came and I said, CJ, buddy, old pal, I just need some bottles. I need to do samples at an expo with this amazing product that I have formulated and on the market. And it came around in a conversation to, hey, why don't you come tour the facility? And by the end of it, do you want a job? I'm like, I'm happy at my job. I'm good. I really love Good Earth. And, and he goes, but look at the possibilities of what it would be like here. And I was like, a whole new world, just so excited. And I saw the lab and fell in love with the lab. And I thought, wow, I could actually get in and do formulation.
You were a little girl back in your father's half acre, blending herbs and flowers.
I know, right? Like this has been a dream. It's been fantastic.
That is a dream.
And then I come into the family situation, and they have just helped me find the right place here. And I'm at home. I'm at home here. It's fantastic. They're a wonderful company to work for.
I think this is the coolest story for anybody out there who thinks dreams don't come true.
They do.
This is really exciting to see how it feels like a very divinely orchestrated life that you're living.
Yeah.
That you were put where you could learn these things. God let you experience some adversity with your own health to increase the passion to serve and to help others mend on their healing journeys, and then handed you a beautiful position here on a silver platter. And what a beautiful addition you are, Tasha. We'll be right back. More with Joy Coaching America.
Welcome to the Loving Liberty Radio Network.
Welcome back to Joy Coaching America, raising the world's vibration to love, joy, and peace, one happy listener at a time.
Welcome back to Joy Coaching America. This is Karyn Lynn Grant interviewing Tatia Nelson from Nature's Fusions. Last week, we interviewed David Peterson, who is the founder. And today, I get the privilege and the honor of introducing and interviewing Tasha. And it's been fun so far. I feel like I'm on an incredible journey with beautiful dreams unfolding to my right and to my left. I'm excited, and I want to share with you, Tasha, and with our listening audience, how I found Nature's Fusions. I, for the past 20 years, have been a music massage aromatherapist. I write my own music for my own healing arts program, Mending Hearts with Healing Arts. And having gone through my catalyst of an adversity in my life, I knew that I wanted to comfort those whose hearts had been broken, whether it be through divorce or the death of a loved one, and to do something where people don't have to talk. They can lay on a massage table and have Christ-centered, faith-filled music, nurturing them as you layer the oils on them, and do compassionate therapeutic touch, do music therapy, do aromatherapy, all of this combined into a very 5 sense experience. And it's been so fun to watch people gracefully transition from grief into joy. But the thing of my heart was and remains to be that it was hard to combine a very altruistically based program where my clients knew me as the singing massage therapist, and then all of a sudden make phone calls at the end of the month and say, you need to get your auto ship done because I'm going to lose all my points and then I won't have my income. And it felt very contradictory to my purpose, calling, and mission. So I have been looking for a direct sales company with the quality. And I have used every oil out there from every company, be it MLM. I think I've tried and used every oil. But I remember feeling like I just want an oil that doesn't feel like when you take the bottle off, because the sense of smell is very associated, as you know, with emotions. I don't want greed.
Amen.
I don't want greed to come floating and diffusing out of my bottles when I'm using them. I want them to be very pure and very reverent for the grief coaching work that I do, aka joy coaching. So I was introduced to this company, came right over and created 4 sets of oils to go with 4 of my 17 modules. And I am so excited to put them in their cute little kits. And then people can use the recipes that I've created for emotional clearing using the Nature's Fusions oils and create the blends that are magic kisses, childlike faith, sense of peace, the healer's touch, sorrow into song. Very beautiful blends using Nature's Fusions oils for those who feel like, I just don't want to do it MLM anymore. I want to do direct sales and order what I want, when I want, get how much I want, and not feel the pressure to have to push that on to anybody else. So I am so excited. So now, Tasha, tell us a story.
Okay, well, first of all, I have the great privilege of working with superhero David, right? And we do everything in the lab together. And so when projects and things come in, it's so fantastic. We get to make all of these things. So there's a team around us, obviously. So we're in the lab, and then we've got the mechanics and the blenders and those who do the bottling and the manufacturing and those who oversee. And one of the departments that we have, they put out a blog that's fantastic. So here we were, David and I, in the lab, and there was a particular day where soon after is called the Smell and Memory article on our blog. You can actually see that. It talks about how smell helps to, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
right?
It's very connecting.
Yes.
It's very connecting to memory.
And it helps you to bring up your memories. And so we were in here, and Carolyn, if you can see all of these bottles here, they're called isolates. So you saw the specs on the lavender sheet, and you've got like, for instance, linalool, and you have alpha terpenol, some of the main ones, linyl acetate, things like that. You can actually get some of these as isolates, as opposed to just a whole food extraction of just the essential oil from the plant. So you have this broad spectrum of all of these constituents, or if you get the isolates, then one by one you can put them into all natural products, which is one of the things that we do here. And
wow, that is wonderful. And is this with the new line that you're coming up with?
Well, it's just it mostly helps us be able to do private labels. So we are Nature's Fusions, and we have this fantastic, company of our own, but we have so many companies that come to us. I think 90% of our business now is making products for other people. And we have this passion for making it all natural. So we have this customer that came and said, we have this product already. We'd like to make it all natural so that it's more safe. And that's right up our alley. We're so excited to do it. And so at times we're able to look at some of the other ingredients that we have rather than just the essential oils and these isolates. We're just smelling them. And David and I are talking about, the smell and memories that come up with smells. And we were making a pineapple toothpaste for my son because he wanted a pineapple flavored toothpaste for his birthday. He's all into pineapples. And I said, do you know what this reminds me of? And he goes, what story comes up for you with pineapple? And I said, when my mom was a dietitian, she ran this kitchen. And there was this beautiful, wonderful, bright spirit who worked. Her name is Lotta. And she's a cook in the kitchen. First time she met me, she looked me up and down and says, you Pam's daughter? I said, yes, I'm Pam's daughter. She said, you beautiful, but you too skinny. So I cook for you. And I said, okay. She goes, what do you like? I said, I like pineapple. She goes, I cook you pineapple pie. And I said,
Oh.
Pineapple pie? I didn't even know that was a thing. She goes, I cook you lots of pineapple pie and you eat my pineapple pie and you become woman.
Oh,
She's this cute Samoan lady who loves it when people eat lots and lots of food with her. And so, that's the smell memory that came up that day. And he's just laughing. He's like, and you become woman? I go, yeah, she wanted me to gain weight because in Samoa, you need more meat on your bones. And I was this skinny rod standing in front,
That is adorable.
That's the story that came up. And then we started talking about the other memories. And can I tell you another quick story of what happened?
Please do.
So this is something that literally took place right here. And I want you to look at that window that we have that looks outside of the lab. All of a sudden, as we are smelling this component, this one single component from clove essential oil, this one constituent seemed to draw in all of these quail. I'm not kidding. So I looked it up later and I shared with David this article on how clove the aromatics from clove can actually help to stimulate the appetite of quails, right?
That is interesting.
Isn't that amazing?
And they could smell it through the wall.
They could smell it through that window right there. It was the most amazing experience. And they're just pecking around. And I said, it looks like they're hungry.
And this isn't an industrial part of town.
I know, right?
I would be surprised to see a quail here.
It was so funny. And so then he starts telling me, oh, I don't know what constituents we've had today, but you probably better just wash off because there's this constituent called 2-heptanone, which is a pheromone that bees emit that tell them to sting. Anyways, we just wanted to make sure that what we were emitting through that window wasn't going to draw on the wrong kind of animal reaction.
You didn't want a swarm of bees being attracted to you. Well, this is very exciting. And I love this. I love what you're sharing. And there's so much more. We are going to do a whole show with David on the sense of smell. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my favorite things to talk about and how it works. And so this is going to be fun. And I love that you introduced this whole concept. Be careful what you smell, ladies and gentlemen. It just might attract what you're not looking for. Okay, we'll be right back after these messages. This is Joy Coaching America with Karyn Lynn Grant interviewing Tatia Nelson from Nature's Fusions.
Welcome back to Joy Coaching America, raising the world's vibration to love, joy, and peace, one happy listener at a time.
Welcome back to Joy Coaching America. This is Karyn Lynn Grant, and we are continuing our wonderful interview with Tatia Nelson from Nature's Fusions. And Tatia, you were sharing a little while ago in this interview how you would go into the garden and you would sing. And I remember finding at this cute boutique an embroidered little darling sign that it had cross-stitched. Come into my garden and let's listen to the flowers sing. And then it inscribed in cross-stitch was the name of Sarah, 1848.
Oh,
And I love this sign,
that's
but I
beautiful.
have this habit when somebody says they like something at my house, I usually take it off the wall and give it to them. So I forgot that sign until you were talking about singing in your garden. And I think that paints such a beautiful picture, because when we involve all five senses, and we've been talking about the sense of smell, and laying a foundation for another show that we're going to be doing with David Peterson, the founder here, on the sense of smell and memory. And Tasha, you've touched on that. I love this, and I love combining all the senses together into a very nurturing experience that is very relaxing, deeply consoling to a person, or exhilarating, depending on the music that you use. And last week, I was able to hear a beautiful song that David had done with his a cappella chorus of 11 voices at Pompeii with Grace a cappella, and I loved it. I went home and listened to it again, and I thought, this is exhilarating. This gets my cells just moving in contagious enthusiasm. And before this show, I heard you sing A Whole New World, and I'd like to sing that too, but I won't. I'll spare you. But I asked you to sing the national anthem for me as I just lay back, because I'm very nurtured by song and scent. Mm-hmm. And that is, for a right-brained, creatively dominant person, that is a wonderful way to help them to move into relaxation. It's probably the same for a very left brain dominant, but to combine song and scent and touch through massage therapy, all of these combinations of the five senses, or two or three of them together, can create a very nurturing experience. So how would you like to sing the fourth verse?
Did you like the fourth verse?
I loved the fourth verse. And so if you're listening and you're at home, get out your favorite bottle of essential oils as you listen to this beautiful voice, and imagine going into the garden and listening to the flowers sing.
Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand between their loved home and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and this be our motto: in God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That was beautiful. And what a prayer for us all to be listening to, as we listen to this good news station where we are Joy Coaching America, and encouraging you to use these natural means, these beautiful gifts of heaven, in solacing the soul and serenading the human spirit. I love this, and thank you so much for sharing your gift and your talent with us. As I breathe in the oils, and I was just able to breathe in an oscillate, which I did not know about oscillates before I came here today. And I love essential oils and have studied them, but I have not studied the oscillates. And as I was listening to you, I still had that scent. And so on that beautiful high note, I could smell that sense of limonene.
That we just smell.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I could smell that again because it's very soprano for me. So when I smell the oils, I smell them in bass, alto, and soprano and tenor. And so I'll smell an oil and I'll go, oh, that's a soprano note. Or, oh, that's a beautiful bass.
Bass notes, middle notes, top notes. The top notes have all of that scent that comes immediately first.
Yes. And so as you hit that glorious top note,
limonene,
I just, a wave of limonene went through me. So I love this and I love your sharing. I would love to have you continue. I'm sure you have more stories for us of working here, beautiful things that you and David have been working on. Any story that comes to mind?
It's wonderful to be able to talk to clients who come. And I was telling you that we have this fantastic essential oil business, right? We've got the Nature's Fusions essential oils. I don't know if everybody knows this, but we're coming out with a new tree line and we will be launching that. You got to taste one of those items today, and it's a meal replacer. So we've got supplements that we are putting out into the market soon.
And I would like for you to create a list of top customers, and I want to be like close to the top on being notified when that comes out because it was delicious and I loved it. And I'm feeling so good after drinking that. And so I know some of that is, company saving it for the grand unveiling, but anything you want to share about that?
Yeah, you gotta test a prototype that will be launched. So we have this fantastic line, but I was telling you earlier that about 90% of what we do in business is all of these other companies love that we can make all natural. And if you want to talk about passion, where David's and my passion is, where the rest of the company's passion is, you get all natural when you come here. And when they want us to manufacture something for them, we say we're an all natural house. So let's show you, the kinds of ingredients, or please, we're going to trade out that one that you've been using, and we want to get rid of the synthetics or the there are carcinogens, which are cancer causing, that are out there like crazy, and things that mess with your hormones because they're the wrong kind of chemicals for you to absorb through your skin. And we don't want anything that's cancer causing. We don't want anything that's going to cause any kind of bad health in the industry. And so when they come, our passion is to make all natural. I do have a funny story if I can share it.
Please do.
There was a day where one of our workers who blends and then cleans up was happily out there cleaning and pouring or cleaning out one of our big containers outside, and it goes into the storm drain. So somebody called and said, you need to check out this company and what they're putting down the storm drain. So the police officer comes and starts asking questions, and I'm the first one. And I said, well, I'd be happy to show you what we're doing. We're an all-natural house here. We're an essential oil company, and I will show you our process for bringing in things and for washing them out. And I'm pretty sure that what we're putting down the storm drain is actually helping the water supply. And that was true. And so, we're green. We love taking care of the environment at the same time. And every one of our inspections, if you might say, have come out squeaky clean, and we're the top, like grade A on our inspections. And it's because we're first all natural. So our passion is all natural. And we just love it.
I bet that policeman quit his day job and became an aromatherapist.
Right.
Oh my gosh. It is so contagious. Mm-hmm. And I would love for you to share, because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't know that sometimes they think, oh, I just want to buy a lesser quality well, I want to buy a less expensive oil. And so they'll turn to a brand or a quality of oil that has the parts of it that are not natural. And then your body has to deal with all of that. So could you address that?
So if you've got an essential oil, for instance, that has all of the pesticides, the inorganic, the really bad toxic pesticides, and then you concentrate it, I do not suggest having that. I mean, we're trying to avoid some of those.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, doesn't it?
So how does a person know? How does a person know? Can we trust the label that says organic on a bottle of essential oil when it's out in the world?
Well, and sometimes organic doesn't mean that it's the most pure. David addressed that on the last show and did it beautifully. So you're looking at what is the highest quality, what kind of soil is there, what kind of things do they use, and then what's the extraction method. And all of that is on naturesfusions.com for every single one of our oils. If you want to know it, you can see it for yourself.
Beautiful.
You can smell it for yourself. You can taste, feel any of those.
And there are those who are researchers who want to know. And so knowing that that is available right there on the website is a great thing, because for those of you who like to research, go there and do your research, and you'll be excited too. I love being here. I love being with you today, Tasha. I'm looking forward to a few more of these radio shows, podcasts in the future with Nature's Fusions. The next one coming up will be on the sense of smell and memory, and there's some pretty exciting things that you're going to want to learn. This is Karyn Lynn Grant thanking you, Tatia Nelson, Joy Coach in America. Good night, everybody.